Hi, in a day we might open many number of websites. When we enter an URL in a browser, we can see the page. But before the page is displayed, many things happens internally. One of them is making a series of HTTP requests. In this video, let's try and learn more about the request headers in a HTTP request. I am in Microsoft Edge now. Let me open the network tab in the DevTools. Yes. Hey, we don't see any HTTP requests here. Okay, let me refresh the page. Now we can see, right? What are all these? All of these are the HTTP requests. For each request, there is likely to be a response from the server unless the client times out or there is a network issue. Let's examine the first request. We have the general information about the request, the response headers, and here comes the request headers. Now what is this request headers? It contains the information about resources to be fetched or about client requesting the resource. In this case, our client is the browser and the expecting resource is google.com. The first header is authority, similar to the host, which specifies the host and port number of the server, where the request to be sent. Wait a minute. I can see the host, but where is the port number? How can I send the request? Okay. Here we have the default port numbers for the services like 443 for HTTPS and 80 for HTTP. Now we are using HTTPS, so our port would be 443. The host header is mandate from HTTP 1.1 and we may get 400 status code if the host is missing or if it has more than one host. We have method which implies the HTTP request method. We have few, right, like get, post, put, delete, patch. In this case, we are sending a get request. This is the path and this is the scheme which we discussed earlier. It is HTTPS. This accept header helps the server to know the media of responses the referrer can understand. In this case, our client can understand text or HTML, XHTML and XML and XML with a relative quality factor of 0.9. Now, what is this? It helps to understand the relative degree of preference for that media range, and it ranges from 0 to 1. So we can give any value between that. The accept encoding gives the information about which type of encoding the client is able to understand. Generally, right, these are compression algorithms like as we see here gzip, dflat, and br is Brotli, which is initiation of Google. To understand this better, let's go to the response headers. We see the content encoding as gzip here. Now the server has responded with an encoding of gzip format, which is we can see in this list. That is the reason the client is able to understand the server's response. Otherwise it couldn't. The accept language is the client acceptable language. Here it is EN and US. Let's assume. I know this is impossible, but let's assume Google can't serve the English language. Then what happens? So it can send the 406 not acceptable error code, but this is rarely done. Most common way is to ignore the accept language header and the server will send the response as is. We have cache control, which gives the instructions for caching. Few directives are no cache and a max says of number of seconds. Suppose let example the value here is 60 seconds. So till 60 seconds, the client can use this request from the cache. If it exceeds that limit, the client has to send the request again to the server, a new request. We have cookie header, contains all the cookies stored for that host in the browser. A cookie is just a key value pair combo. You can add multiple pairs which are separated by semicolon. We can specify multiple directives for a cookie like path, secure, HTTP only, etc. We can see all those in this cookie tab right over here. Yes. So these are all the directives of a cookie. The domain, path, expires, size, HTTP only, secure. The few important directives are the HTTP only, which means cookie is not accessible to the JavaScript. The secure, which means cookie is transmitted only on secure channels. In our case, it is HTTPS. There are a few limitations to the cookie size and they vary across the browser. So when you are trying to add the cookies, right, please check the compatibility as well. And one more is, please be generous when you are adding the cookies. If you send huge cookies, even in one response from the server, they will be transmitted back to the server in all subsequent requests from the client. This is by default. If we want to stop that, we can use the path directive to give the specific path where the cookie has to be sent. And we have this CHUA and UA mobile. These are Chromium specific. We'll come to this later. We have sec fetch dest, which indicates the request destination to a server like document, image, audio, track, etc. We have fetch mode. Here it is navigate. It indicates the request mode. I have to warn you here, this is experimental and it is not supported by all the browsers. Please check the compatibility before you try to use this header. So where we can check the compatibility, how we know it is genuine or not. So we have the Mozilla documentation where we can check all this. So now I am in the sec fetch mode header page. It indicates that this header is experimental, expect behavior to change in the future. And the browser compatibility, we can see the table. It's not compatible to Firefox, IE, Safari and few other. So please be cautious when you are using this. We have sec fetch site, which gives the relation between the request initiator origin and the target origin. The values can be cross-site, same origin, none. The sec fetch user is the it shows up when the request is initiated by the user activation. The value will be 1 all the time. This header sends a signal to the server that the client can support the updated mechanism of upgrade insecure requests. The value will be 1 all the time. The user agent, this lets the server and the network peers identify the application, operating system, vendor or version of the user agent. Okay, now let's come to this CHUA and mobile. As I said earlier, right, these are Chromium specific. I am using Edge and Edge is also Chromium based. So we are able to see these two headers. Not only these, all the headers starts with SECCH or browser specific. All this tries to give hint about the user agent to the server. Suppose let's go to the responsive way and I have selected a Android mobile like Moto Z4. I can see the mobile as 1, whereas in the desktop it is 0. If I select any iPhone, let me refresh the page. Yeah. So we don't see those, right? Those headers are not shown here. As I said earlier, right, these are browser specific. So please be cautious if you want to use these headers. And we have another header which I see pretty better to know that. I don't see that in the Edge. Let me take you to the Firefox. Yes. Here we have the header called connection. This is when the client tries to send a request to the server, right? The network connection will be established. Generally, it will be TCP. The connection header controls whether the network connection stays open or not after the current request. In this scenario, this is keep alive, which indicates the connection is persistent, and the subsequent requests can be sent using the same TCP connection. We have close, which indicates either client or server would like to close the connection. Yeah. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for coming till here. In the next video, we'll go through the response headers. Thank you for watching.